Yo, what is going on, guys? We are on episode 40 of many. Thank you for tuning in. We've got our lovely guest, Gavino Morales, here again today, making a quick turnaround appearance. We're just going to do a little episode today, just kind of chatting back and forth, talk about life, talk about Q3. We do have Q3 here now that it's July. We've got July, August, and September that we've got to figure out what our game plan is for business, but also personally. So we'll kind of discuss some of that stuff. Gavino did not plan on being on a podcast. I actually had him down here for a meeting, and I said, why don't we just do a podcast instead? So that is why he's looking around and not really sure what to do with his hands. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. We're going to jump right into it. So start off with your routine. You made it to the gym quite a few times this week, huh?
4 to 5 times, which is probably, I think the last month I probably worked out like 6 times. So 4 this week. Obviously, the one day I missed was the day yesterday when you guys were on the install. So for the most part, staying consistent. Weekends, not as great. But I think the goal for me is 3 times for sure. That's kind of the bottom line. Like, hey, I got to find a way in here 3 times. But anytime I get in there 4 or 5 times, that's just better, I guess. So
we're going to hit it tomorrow morning, or?
I don't know about tomorrow morning. I'm going to have a long morning, long day.
Oh, what do you got going on tomorrow?
Got the boat trip with a couple of my other buddies. Bunch of guys I went to high school with, a little younger than me, but just an annual little trip around, starting Fremont.
Are you golfing today?
Golfing tonight, yeah, at 6 p.m.
No rain?
I hope not.
It looked kind of dark out there.
We'll be out there. 2 years ago, we had the guys' boat trip in the pouring rain the entire day. So I think if we got through that together, we'll be all right through a couple holes of golf.
Figure it out. How's carnivore going for you? I know last episode, I believe we talked a little bit about that. You kind of told everybody you're starting that back up. So how's that going? Yeah,
so it's almost the end of week 2. I think the only thing that's been in my body that has not been carnivore is a lot of fruit. I know we had the golf outing the other day, had a couple pieces of watermelon. Kind of just go to the store and I just get those fruit trays, like the variety trays. I'm just a big pineapple guy, strawberries. I won't eat the blueberries. I hate those. But fruit's kind of the one alternative other than the regular meat. I think I made chicken the other night. We've had steak and shrimp, all those things too. Texas Roadhouse on Sunday. So kind of just adjusting back to that. I think it's been a little hard. I mean, you drive by the Taco Bell in Berlin, you drive by a McDonald's, they just got the snack wraps back. So that's kind of the first thing that crosses your mind. But I think just staying as consistent as I possibly can. I'm sure it's not going to be perfect. I'm sure I'm going to have a day where, not that I'm going to cheat by eating 16 Domino's pizzas, but I think I will. If there's a piece of bread, maybe I have a piece of bread or something along those lines, or just have a little crunch of pretzels or something, but try not to overdo it when I do cheat, I guess.
I think that's good for everybody to hear too, is like, I'm rather strict carnivore. Every now and then I have some beers, and that's obviously not carnivore, right? And carnivore there's like a bunch of different variations of carnivore. Some carnivores believe you can have some dairy. Some carnivores say, as soon as you have 1 gram of carb in your body, it's not okay. Some carnivores say like chicken and fish are like the most extreme version is like beef, salt, eggs, water, right? Like that's like the most extreme version. So I think carnivore is a good lifestyle for you to figure out what works for you, what the best routine is for you. So, if you're saying, hey, I'm carnivore, you're really going more keto. You've got a little bit of sugar in there with your fruits and that kind of stuff, your carbs there, which again, I think that's fine. Just got to figure out what works for you. So you could potentially eat enough fruit every day, not necessarily be in ketosis, which is the point of carnivore, and still see great results from it. So maybe that's just your carnivore, like that's your style. So everybody listening, finding something that works for you is the most important thing. Whole foods is the most important, less processed stuff. But kudos to you for picking something and sticking with it, and it's going good. So you're down some weight in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think I'm down like 9-ish pounds. I didn't weigh myself today, obviously, but from 2 weeks ago, I went on another golf trip with a bunch of my buddies, and you drink a lot of beers in 2 days, and you kind of you eat crappy food because that's kind of all that's there at midnight. But
yeah,
after that, you kind of come home feeling like crap, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to start something again. So just trying to stay as consistent as I can, and I think, I don't know, from where I'm at, I think I can get down another 8-9 pounds to kind of hit that bottom number where I've been sitting. But then after that point, it's kind of just hard to tip the scales under that number. But as much as I can, I don't know, it's probably going to be hopefully a pound a week at least to start. But It could be, it's been 4 a week for the first 2 weeks. So we'll see.
Fair enough. Just for everybody to understand too, we're recording this on Friday, July 11th. Friday, July 11th. This will be released on Tuesday, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Whatever. Tuesday the 15th, if that's the right day. That's when you'll hear this. So we're going to kind of talk some other plans here as well. So you're hearing us talk about the weekend, but technically this has already happened by the time you listen to it. So I'm just throwing that out there for you guys. So Brewer game is the other thing I wanted to discuss. Did we want to do the Brewer game on Sunday, 1:00 game?
Hopefully they're rolling right now.
Yeah.
Last one before the All-Star break will be on Sunday. We'll miss Mizarowski by one day, but
Miz is tomorrow?
Yeah. So we'll get Freddie on Sunday.
Seems like a fast turnaround. No, he just pitched on Wednesday, no?
No, he pitched
Tuesday?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it was it was Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday because Wednesday we watched from the car, and that was yeah. All right. So do we want to commit to go on Sunday?
I hope so. We got to get the guy behind the chair over there to commit.
G, you in, producer? Yeah. Is that a yes? So G, the producer, is in for the Brewer game. Gavino's in. I'm in. I think Nolan wants to come as well. So we'll plan on, we're vocalizing it now. We will be at the Brewer game on Sunday at 1:00 to see who's pitching.
Freddie.
Oh, Freddie Peralta. Cool. Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited. First game of the year. First game of the year for you, which is surprising because usually you make opening day and then you make 2 or 3 more games. Then you make 2 or 3 more games after that, I feel like usually. So hopefully we can string a couple back-to-back here.
Hopefully we don't drop any phones and porta potties. That's always a plus.
Yeah, you can tell that story if you'd like. Last time that I was at a Brewer game with you.
That was probably the last time I was at a game too, or maybe I went to one after that. But of course, I'm the one that was in charge of the tickets that day. We have 10 to 11, 12 people maybe. Got an Airbnb, stayed down there, and then just going to the bathroom after having a few drinks. You're a little lackadaisical, a little more relaxed. You're not really sure of your surroundings. So I head to the porta potty, and
as we're all walking into the stadium, because it was a jersey giveaway too.
Yeah.
So we all wanted to go and get our jerseys because you have to be like the first 20,000 or whatever it is. Go get our jerseys. So we're like, Gavino's like, I'm going to stop and pee real quick at the porta potties. And we're like, all right, fine, whatever. We all kind of keep walking. And yeah.
Next thing I know, we were just about to leave because I came back and then we were packing stuff up at the truck. We're like, all right, who's got the tickets? I'm like, I have the tickets. They're like, all right, let's get them out. Let's get stuff ready. I go to grab my phone. My phone's down in my pocket. And that starts the chaos of everybody's undoing the chairs, looking in coolers. We're looking in the meat bags, whatever. Looking in the back of the truck, in the trucks, nowhere to be found. So somehow I logged into Kyle's phone. I was able to get on my MLB account or whatever, transfer the tickets to him, got into the game. So I sat through an entire Brewer game with no phone, which is in 2025 or whatever. It's not, that's just not how things are. So I was pretty focused into the game, obviously as well as I could. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking of all the possible places that my phone could be until it strikes me and I'm like, hey, I think the last place that I had it was the porta potty. So in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I know which one it is. On the way back, we're going to have to do something. So I think I convinced one of the people we were with to get in there, and I don't remember who it was, but there was some objection, and they're like, hey, it's your phone, you do it. I'm like, all right, whatever. So there's a nice little line after the Brewer game. They win, I think. And nice little line after the game. I'm kind of telling people what's going on. I'm like, hey, can I get ahead of you? And everybody was super cool about it and just obviously laughing because I'm like, hey, I think it's in there. So take my jersey giveaway bag. I put it right around my arm. So it's like I have a glove all the way down. And I head in there right after this dude goes to the bathroom. And I kind of stick my hand. First, I'm looking around it. I'm like, hey, maybe it's up here on a shelf or whatever. But no, it was fully submerged underwater. I'm reaching at the bottom of the porta potty all over. You're feeling stuff all over your arm, which obviously it's coming from other people. So you're trying to look away. And I hit something hard and I felt it shift over and I'm like, there's no way. So I went back to where it moved, stuck my hand in there and pulled my phone out of the water, threw it under some disinfectant. I think we poured alcohol on it to try and kill all the bacteria. We flush it out with the water from the coolers and it sat in there for about 3 hours and it still worked that night. So no issues. Same phone I have right now.
Yeah. It's gross. It's a gross story, funny story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you got it. You know, you were really stressing out during the Brewer game, kind of pissed off, trying to watch the game and be focused, but where the hell's my phone? So
Not this year.
We're trying to like log into everything to try to locate it and do like the find my phone and all that stuff, but
Wouldn't ring, nothing.
Yeah. So fair enough. So we're gonna go to the Brewer game. We're gonna keep our phone out of the porta potty. It'll be a Sunday game, so there really won't be much drinking, if any, and not much of a pregame either. We'll just get down there probably like 12:30, get to our seats. I don't think there's a giveaway. I think Saturday's a giveaway, so it'd be a nice Sunday afternoon. Be out of there by 3-ish, 3:30, back home by 5:30, 6 o'clock. It'll be an easy day. So that'll be the plan. So let's kind of get into the meat of the pod, what we want to discuss, see if anybody can take some value away from it. Q3 is here, which we talked about, or which I mentioned. And something that I talk a lot about on the Grizzly Life Podcast is goal setting, figuring out what you want to do with your life, figuring out, your one thing today that helps this week, that helps this month, that helps this year, right? All that kind of stuff. So let's talk about, you want to start business or personal stuff?
We can do personal stuff first.
Yeah, let's go back and forth. Let's just kind of talk out loud. I'll hold myself accountable. This is the least or laziest or the least amount of thought I've put into. It's harder the mid-year. January is always easy. You make it through that. Then it's like, okay, what's the next 3 months? Now it's like midsummer. You're kind of on the back half of the year figuring out what you want to do. So for me personally, I still need to sit down. I no excuses. I need to sit down and just figure out what I really want to accomplish in the next 90 days. But I know for me personally, my personal habits, I feel like, are very locked in, right? I mean, working out, eating healthy, drinking less, getting my steps in, getting my water intake in. So my personal goals aren't anything crazy. I want to continue reading a lot, and I want to get more target practice in, probably with bow now more than gun, just to kind of get ready for bow season. So those are two things that I really want to focus on. What do you got for your personal things you'd like to achieve?
So a clean diet's the goal. Like I said before in the last episode that I was on, I at least want to make it through the 90 days. That's kind of really where I want to be. Hopefully it carries on to like September and October and all that stuff too. But at least 90 straight days of, hey, I can do this again. And I've done it a little bit before too. So kind of have that idea where it's more of a clean diet is kind of how I worded it in our meeting stuff. But
I know I see it flying around there.
But that's kind of the big one for me. There's always a weight goal for me, and that's kind of losing 10 additional pounds, which where we started, I think I'm probably 2 pounds under that starting number that I wanted to lose 10 from. So I think 2 under there, I think that 10 is really attainable. And then anything from there is just a plus. But those are the two big ones. I still have a reading goal, which I haven't been doing too great on. Mostly just the book that we're reading for Grizzly. But 5 is the number for that, which will be way more than I've ever done. I think last quarter, I think I did like 4. So not way more, but way more of a goal, because I think my goal for Q2 was only 2 or 3.
Do you have some books already pre-bought or planned?
Yeah, I'm like I said last time, I'm using my
Kindle?
iPad as a Kindle,
Yeah.
which I don't know. It's good and bad. I guess it hurts my eyes sometimes to just a regular book, but I think it helps me focus. Once in a while, I'll turn on like the Audible version, but I'll read along with it and just to listen to it, and I think that helps me stay on task. But I can't really read 2 books at once. So now that this one's a little different, the one we're reading for you, just because it's like 2 chapters a week, so it's nothing crazy. But if I start books on my own, I don't want to have 2 open at the same time because I just can't focus that way. So we'll see. I think 5's the number, but realistically, if I actually kick my butt into gear, it can be like 10.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the 3 main ones, I guess, for personal. And then getting into an off-topic one that's not a personal goal for there, but coaching high school football this year for the first time is just a goal to kind of just see where I'm at, just because I've coached youth for so long. So I think just a goal of, hey, how much can I really put into this thing and help those guys out? So it's more of not like a numbers goal. I don't think like I directly relate to winning games or anything like that, but I think it's more of a personal mindset goal to helping them out and kind of getting outside the box to where I've been. So
yeah. Fair enough. And for everybody listening to, Gavino kind of mentioned a book that we're reading. So I think we might do this, maybe we'll do like 1 a quarter, depending on how our staff takes it or how we want to do it. Kind of have what we call as like our leadership team or our management team. we have done this in the past where we kind of go back and forth on a book, and we just kind of a book that teaches us something that's valuable to everybody on the team, right? Leadership skills, or in this case, customer service. So we're reading it as a team. Every week we do our team meeting. We're just going to touch base on it. Hey, what's 1 or 2 key takeaways we had from chapters 1 and 2, for example, for this week? So 2 chapters a week. I think the book's like 8 or 10 chapters, so we'll be done in 4 or 5 weeks' time, or maybe we'll kind of speed it up a little bit, go 3 chapters a week. But it's cool. It's interesting. I like to read. Obviously I'm trying to instill good habits in other individuals. Not that they need to read, not that everybody needs to read, but I do think it'll help as we bring on, like, for example, the book we're reading right now is all about customer attention and like how to deal with complaints, right? And so if we all can read the same book, we can all kind of have similar ideas. Instead of me saying, we're going to change all this stuff and nobody really understands what I'm saying, now it gives the opportunity for everybody to kind of be on the same page, at least the same starting page, and then we can kind of build our business from there. So I think it's a really powerful tool. I enjoy doing it. So just for those listening, one of the books Gavino has to read is that, and who knows, maybe we'll have one more for him this quarter as well. So let's talk business Q3. What, just open conversation. What do you I know we talked a little bit about already what we want to do as a business. So what do you want to see changed or improved upon within reason, or, you personally? I know you've got some goals that you want to do as your position too. So
Yeah, so I think now that I'm actually managing more staff, it's obviously different. I've done it for a little bit now, maybe like a year-ish, where I'm kind of the person, not above them, but they obviously come to me for guidance. I kind of set the rules and stuff like that. So we do have a lot of staff, and now, especially at Watoma, we have, live in Aspen, one's going to college, one's still in high school. So kind of just giving them the right direction. They've done a great job, and they're working a ton here this summer. So it's been nice for me to staff a gym like Berlin, which is a little understaffed right now. So kind of just the direct communication with the staff members. And obviously we have like staff in Rosendale, we have staff in Amarillo. I can't be at all 5 gyms that I take care of or whatever at one time. So just connecting with them. The goal is 3 staff per week, whether it's a text, a phone call, a FaceTime, which I don't like doing. So that's probably not, I know you suggested that one, but not a big FaceTime guy. We do it for our meetings, but I think the one-on-ones are just harder for me just because I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
But finding a way to communicate with them and, hey, how are things going? Is anything wrong? Like our night staff here, usually I'm out coaching something when they're working. So there's kind of missed text messages and missed calls, and they're trying to reach me for help. And then a couple hours later, I'll get back to them. But trying to find a way to stay involved, because obviously a lot of the time as a gym staff is spent kind of by yourself. You're kind of the face at the desk. You're the one that everybody sees. They come to you with questions, complaints. Hey, this is broken, whatever it is. So kind of seeing where every gym's at, seeing what the gyms need, and then seeing where our staff's at too, whether they're happy, not happy. It's something I've never had to do. So that's kind of the big one for me, rather than just the regular day-to-day inventory and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I think I mentioned to you, and this should be one of our big Q3 goals, is our inventory system for apparel and supplements. I think what I kind of pitched to you could work. I think we just need to, G and the producer, Gavino and I, maybe Nolan too, because he's good at building out some of that Shopify store stuff. We're looking at, our inventory system is just such a pain in the butt because we offer 24-hour
honor system, basically.
Like honor system, yeah, those are the words I was looking for. So we do a 24-hour honor system. All of our supplements and apparel are out. Come check out whenever you want, buy them. Just leave a note, basically. And if you're listening and you buy from us and you're poor at leaving notes, please do a better job of telling us what you're buying. Color, size, flavor, whatever you're buying, tell us what you're buying, because we need to know. So if you Venmo us, send us a note and tell us that exact stuff. So that's one of our biggest things, though, is Gavino has to spend a ton of time looking back and saying, who bought this, who took that, why don't I have this recollected for in my notebook or whatever, manual spreadsheets. So we're looking at bringing a new system on for that inventory. So I think the next 90 days, if we could do that, that would be a game changer, a cost saver, simplifier. You'd be not stressed, but you'd have less little, who the hell took this? And let me spend an hour trying to find who took it. So a lot of the times we have to go back through the cameras, maybe find who grabbed this or grabbed that, and then we have to try to figure out how you paid us, and it's just a pain in the butt. So that's what we do on a day-to-day basis. Gavino does. I won't say we are a team, but Gavino is in charge of that. So I think inventory system would be huge for Q3. And I think our other major Q3 goal would probably be like retention. And I know we've been talking a lot about that. And so for those of you listening, kind of our goal is, what's the journey for a gym member like when they're with us, right? Like how do we treat them once they sign up? So instead of they sign up, they get their key fob and it's great and they're just paying us every month, like how can we provide them value? How can we make sure they're happy? Instead of looking for new members all the time, newspaper ads, mailers, Facebook ads, right? Instead of trying to always find the new member, how do we care more about our current members? How do we do more for them? Can we do events? Can we do thank you cards? Can we do gifts? Like whatever that is. And so I think that's one of our big Q3 goals as well is the retention aspect, but just like caring more about our members, giving back more to them. And I think all of us will enjoy it once it's up and running and systematized because, even giving like a staff a bonus, right? Like just, it feels good to do good things for people. So if we can do more of that for our gym members, I think it'll just be more of a sense of pride. It'll just feel better about that. That's my input there. So, is there anything else that you've got going for Q3 that you want to touch on?
Nothing crazy, at least that I can think of. I think finding consistent staff in Berlin would be huge, especially when the school year starts, just to have a face there, whether it's 30, 40 hours a week. That'd be nice. Watoma should be nice and covered like it usually is. So kind of just securing some little back end things like that. Having a new inventory system will probably be a headache at first, especially getting it all set up. But I think it'll definitely be nice to not do inventory for an hour at minimum every single day, especially when it's little nitpicky things like, hey, where did this little tiny protein bar go? I got to get in the cameras. I got to zoom into the protein bar box and literally look to when it moves. Then I got to go backtrack the swipes. All right, this is where it was. This is who took it. Did they pay through this payment, which is super nice for the customer. Yeah. Because they can just grab and go whenever they want, whenever. But for us on the back end, it's a little bit of a headache if stuff's not tracked correctly. So that's a big one. And then obviously just the finishing up Watoma, the back section once we're done there too. So
yeah, the back section will be pretty sweet when we get that done. So the reason we're kind of just talking a lot about this for you guys today is so you guys can kind of see how we think about it from a business standpoint, but also a personal standpoint. Before, when I was doing something I've been lacking, but our quarterly meetings with individuals. So like what I would normally do is I would sit down with Gavino and we would kind of have like 3 or 4 topics, which we'll probably still do this. It's just a matter of time and when, but we go over personal goals. We go over like finance goals. We go over like your health and fitness goals. So if there's things you want to accomplish in the gym, I want to lose weight, I want to bench more weight, whatever it is. And then we also kind of have like, travel or just stuff like that, right? So I don't know, I'm looking at a lady over there trying to get in the gym, I think. I don't know what she's doing. She's trying to read. So anyways, usually we sit down and kind of figure out what all of our personal goals are. And I think that's always a good thing to do too. But lately, I've been trying to keep it more simple. What's 1 or 2 things that you really want to accomplish, right? Like maybe one of each of those things is good to think about. What's one finance thing I can get figured out in the next 90 days? What's one health goal I can focus on? What's one personal thing I can do? And then like what's something I can improve on in the work field, right? Like me as a leader, I want to have better communications with Gavino on a weekly basis, right? Or whatever that may be. Maybe I want to connect with Gavino once a week on our new inventory system and make sure it's going right. Maybe I want to, like I said, shoot guns once a week for target practice. Maybe I want to bench more weight, whatever it is. Picking one thing that you want to focus on kind of each area of your life, I think is important to do. So think about that. Figure out how you can improve your life, your, one thing in each of those areas: personal, health, fitness, finance, and then like kind of like the workplace, right? And again, if you have like a travel goal or a vacation goal, throw that in there as well. So what do we got for time? 24? All right, I think we're good. So we're going to wrap her up here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you guys want to add me on Snapchat, Colton.Burt, COLTON.BURT. Instagram, Facebook, ColtonBurt19. Email is marketing@fitnessgrizzly. And reach out to us, give us some feedback, give us some comments. Let us know what you guys want to hear. You'll be seeing Nolan's interview very soon. So again, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.